All right, so we have a wonderful day in New Hampshire here. I have a bunch of snow to take care of. I just came back from vacation, but I want to go over an update on the ATVs and the plow system and the poly edge on my 66-inch Glacier Pro plow. Now, I have it kind of standing up like this so we can take a look at the wear over the years. I've had this poly edge on here for I think 5 years now, and I haven't flipped it yet. So as you can see, it still has a good amount of life left to it. It probably wore down like 3/8 of an inch compared to the top edge, which is still brand new. This bottom edge has been doing pretty damn good. You can reference my original videos where I install this and talk about it further, but this actually provides a lot of flotation and a good scraping edge while still protecting your driveway. Okay, so it's not going to be as aggressive as a steel edge. This is the steel edge. I just have a replacement that I use as a backing plate here. There's a Polaris steel edge, but the steel edges, I used it for a couple years and they wear down extremely fast compared to this plastic, believe it or not. This plastic is thicker and it actually lasts a lot longer. So I've had this on for 5 years, I would say, and it's done pretty damn good. As you can see here, from the steel edge, it actually wore down so quickly that it wore down into the frame of the plow right on this side here. So that's something to consider when you have this Polaris Glacier Pro 66-inch. It's a heavy plow, and if you use the steel edge, you're gonna just wear through that edge and just consume it. So it's something to consider. Another thing, the skid shoes, because I use this nice thick poly edge, it puts less stress on the skid shoes, but I still have them on there just for extra flotation on the dirt and the gravel, okay? I don't have them, I have them there as kind of insurance, just in case the poly edge wears down a little further than I want. I have these kind of set a little bit further in, like a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch above the actual edge here for the poly edge. So these are just for extra insurance, but it does provide better flotation, I noticed, by running the Polaris skid shoes, which these are the standard ones, but I recommend the upgraded ones, which are thicker. Okay, I've posted about those in videos. I have many videos covering the ATVs and plowing in my Polaris playlist, so check that out. But today we are gonna be plowing some snow. Here is my 2018 Hunter Edition XP 1000, and this is the wife's 2020 850 Premium Trail. Okay, this is the Premium Trail. You know, Polaris comes out with all these crazy names, but this is the Premium Trail for the 2020 model year. I have both sets of tires on here. These are ITP Bighorn Originals, not the 2.0s. These are the ones with the bigger lugs. I really like these tires on both machines, and on both machines I have beadlock ITP beadlocks on here. So this is a single beadlock, and on my machine I have the dual beadlock, so it has a beadlock ring on the inside and the outside. Okay, this one is set up with the Polaris Pro Armor side rails. Okay, I have all sorts of videos covering all the upgrades I've done over the years, including the stealth snorkel system that you can't see. It's underneath the plastics. But I want to get some snow done today. I came back from vacation 3 o'clock in the morning. Even though my neighbor helped me out and cleared my driveway, a really long driveway here, it still created a mess that I have to clean up now and kind of neaten up and push some of these snowbanks out of there. I did most of it with the excavator. I pushed the snowbanks that he created with the tractor away from the driveway edge. But what I want to do is just neaten things up today. I'm going to show you some video clips of the machine snowplow. I'm going to hook up the XP 1000 because usually I try to alternate years. 1 year I'll use my wife's machine, then I'll use my machine the next year. Both machines are wired up for the plow and the power angle. Okay, so here, and then we have the winch to go up and down, but this is the power angle here. Both machines have that same kind of system, you know, the actuator to run the plow. On the plow itself, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to set it up really quick in just a moment. As you can see, I have it kind of like, you know, using a tie down to hold this thing up so it doesn't fall down on me. But typically, it's a really quick setup. I have a video on this, But this is the frame portion of the ATV plow system for the Polaris Glacier Pro. I have the electric hydraulic unit. Okay, I highly recommend this. I would not be plowing a big driveway or any other kind of complicated kind of situation without this system here. It makes plowing life a lot easier, and you don't want to get on and off your machine just to change the angle of the plow. It's kind of ridiculous. So I bought this brand new with the machine when I bought it, 2018. It hasn't had any problems at all. So we're gonna set it up and I'll show you. And another thing I do is I use a old dedicated winch line. I gotta swap out the one I have on my machine right now because I don't wanna wear out the brand new one, the really nice one, because using the plow system, it just wears the hell out of your winch line. I've broken so many of these over the years, it's not even funny. I've probably broken at least a dozen winch lines using it on the plow. Okay, so I'm sick and tired of buying winch lines, synthetic winch lines. So I keep kind of a beater one that I use for the winter season, kind of full length, but I'll go ahead and spool this up instead. That way I don't beat up the nice newer one that I use actually on the trail and just normal riding. But for the winter time, I'm gonna swap out to a dedicated plowing winch line and set this thing up. So let's go ahead and get to it, and let's start plowing. Okay, so I switched over the winter winch line, and as you can see, I have the normal roller fairlead with the big rollers. Now, people are going to say you can't use this roller fairlead, but yes, you can, as long as it's brand new. Okay, these rollers have a larger radius, which is easier on the synthetic cable than a synthetic rope fairlead, which has a small radius and it has a lot more stress on the rope, if you ask me. So I prefer to run the bigger rollers just because I think it just provides more radius and less stress on that rope. So that's what I do. You just need to make sure, like I said, it's a brand new roller fairlead and not one that's been chewed up by a steel cable. Okay, that's what you don't want to do. But over here I have the frame on the plow blade, and I have everything hooked up. I went ahead and lubed up the pins and the bushing here. There's a spherical bushing with some white lithium grease, sprayed it in there, worked the pins in there, make sure there's all grease in there, and now we're good to go. This is a very simple system. We're just gonna hook it up right now. I tend to use this dolly when I have it in the garage so I can move it around nice and easy like this. Okay, so it doesn't matter where the ATV is, where the plow is. I can maneuver this thing around and then bring it right up to the machine, just like that. Okay. And it attaches right to the frame. I pull back on this and it pulls back some teeth back here, if you don't know, and then you can lock it when you push it down. But first you got to bring it up to the frame and line it up, and it snaps in usually right into place. And when I see the back side is nice and tight in there and it's not flopping, I know it's good to go. And then I can go ahead and push down on this lever to lock it in place. Okay, the next thing is to hook up your winch cable. So I'm just going to disengage the roller. The rope, I'm just going to bring it out a little bit, hook it up, re-engage that winch. Then my electrical connection, which is right here. Okay, if you can see that. I'm just going to fish it right through so it's nice and neat and out of the way. And then I have it mounted here on the radiator. I don't know if you can see that, but I hope you can. You go ahead and disconnect that and then just plug in the electric hydraulic unit, and now it's ready to go. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a little tug. I wanna make sure in the back here it's connected on the frame. The two teeth are engaged, so we're good to go there. It's hooked up, now we can raise it up. go. And now we can start plowing and take care of this like miscellaneous snow I have everywhere, kind of this mess I have, but let's go ahead and do that.